Hello all you GT Sport fans, this is SLYRED, and today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and some Adobe Illustrator plugins and websites to help you compress your SVG files. But today I think you're going to enjoy this. It's going to answer a lot of questions you people have been having. But without further ado, let's get into this. First thing, some people may not even know, but you have to upload it to the Gran Turismo Sport section. And I'm going to leave links to everything in the video down below. So all you have to do is click on it and it'll take you to the pages. But first, let's go to the page and sign in. And when you sign in, you're going to use your account information that you use online on your PlayStation 4. So we'll sign in. And here where you see top, news, championships, community, product information, and manual, right below manual you'll see Decal Uploader. That's what we're going to be working with mainly today. So, let's get on with the show. And here is why we like to make our own decals, because remember in the beginning when we couldn't upload decals and we had to make our own decals or use the ones that GT Sport provided for us. Now this didn't come out bad. It came out, looks pretty good actually, but there are mistakes because I had to make my own decals right here. Like I didn't have enough room to write nitrous oxide on there, but now they have a decal for it. Somebody's uploaded it, but you could have found your own and made it. Same with the K&N filter and the lines. The lines, back then I didn't know how to control how far the lines went, so it went over, and I had to use a patch for the grill there to cover it. But now I know how to make those lines shorter. It happened on both sides. And the letters are not so even on the K&N. And I couldn't have a clear background because I had to make that NX, and I had to make the N and the X. But from a distance, it doesn't look bad. Same with the HKS decal. I had to make that myself because at the time they didn't have one, but now they're all over the place. People have uploaded a bunch of them. And we have the actual stickers that were on the hood of that car when it was made for Fast and Furious. But I made my own HKS sticker, and I didn't know that there was a space down below it, a big space down below each letter, but now I do. But that's why we like to make our own decals, so we can have detail, and it looks good, it looks professional, it doesn't look sloppy like mine does. Well, and the first thing I want to tell you is you cannot make the file smaller by making the picture smaller. Like if you think that's going to do it, I assure you it's not. That's 43.114 kilobytes. We'll go back and do the same thing here. It cut it down a little. That's 45.9. That was 43 when you brought it down that way. But that's not the way to do it, guys. You have to take out anchor points. Okay, back to the reason why everybody's here. Compression of SVG files. One of the questions that I got from a couple of people on a website on Facebook was, could they do library editing and make SVG files on their cell phones? And I think I found a good answer. This could be for Apple or Android, and you can use it for your pads too, iPads and Android pads. And you can use it for PC and Mac stuff. The company's called Cricut, and it's a free software to use. A lot of the plugins are not free, but it does save in SVG format. And this one, I'm going to be leaving links down below for it, for the PC and the Mac, and for your iOS devices, and for your Android. The Android one is under beta right now, but they do have one for it, and it'll let you, it has templates, or you can upload your own. I think it's a real good device. I know another problem people were saying is that there's all kinds of software out there for your phones that was like Adobe Illustrator, and I think even Adobe Illustrator has software for your phones and your tablets, but they are having a problem with them uploading to the GT Sports site. It wouldn't connect for some reason. Maybe a way around that could be if you plug your devices into your computer via USB cord and search through there and try to upload it that way. But I'm still looking for some answers on that. But there are, I guess, several companies out there that make Illustrator-like software for your phones. So that's good news. Another question that I was getting was, people have several different versions of Adobe Illustrator, like CS5, CS6, or Adobe Illustrator CC 2016, 17, 18, whatever. On the new one, they were asking me, how do you save SVG files on it? And it's a pretty simple answer. Let's get a file here first and put it into it. All right. Alright, so you have your file and you have everything the way you want it already, and you just go into File, Save As, and when it brings this up, you choose where you want it to go, like your desktop, And then down here it'll say save as type, and you'll just go down to SVG and save. Now this will come up for the CC illustrators. You don't need to change anything on it. Just hit OK and then go, and the file will be on the desktop. It'll be under whatever search engine you have, and you can look down at the property and it'll tell you how many kilobytes it is. And that's 7.79, which is a good size, a real good size. Remember, you want to be at 15 kilobytes, because anything above 15 kilobytes will not upload, and it has to be an SVG file format or it will not upload. Another cool thing is, that some software that I found that you guys might be interested in, and it's called VectorMagic. Now I'll leave a link down below for that. And it'll open up like this, and it's very simple to use. You just pick a picture you want. And let's see here. And we'll do like vibe. What's cool about this software is you can drag and drop right onto it. Here it is. Just drag it right onto it, and you'll see that, and you'll have 3 choices. You can do fully automatically, and it'll do all the work for you. You can do a basic, simple, multiple choice questions it'll ask you, or advanced. And we're just going to do simple because this is not too complicated of a picture. So it will do the work, and it'll give you 3 choices here. We're going to do artwork with blended edges, and we'll do it without blended edges. High resolution sharp, 2 colors. And another cool thing about this is you can remove the background, all the white. And you can enlarge it and make sure you got all of it. Which I think we did. Then bring it back down to normal. And hit next again. Hit next again. And here's the cool part here, drag and drop. You can actually save it as an SVG file, or you can save it as an Adobe Illustrator file, which that's how we're going to save it. But you can save directly from there to an SVG file, and that's kind of cool because then you don't even need any of the illustrators. You can take any picture off, like your Google search or anything, image search, and put it in here and do that. Remember though, you don't want anything that's too detailed or too big, because the file size will be too big. So we did that. I don't think we saved that to the right place. Let's try it again. Desktop. There it is. Alright, so we'll take this file, we'll put it in the new Illustrator. Now remember, we've already taken the background off of this, but I'm going to show you the old way of doing it. If the background wasn't removed, we would just select everything around it, ungroup it, go to edit, go to copy, make a new page, create, paste it, go across the top to where it says select, select all, then hit shift on your keyboard and click on your nodes until you've clicked everything. And I mean every letter has to be done. And you can tell it's done because the box gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then hit delete on your keyboard and go to, like I said, go to File, go to Save As, pick where you want it, save as an SVG file to your desktop. We'll hit save. Remember, this comes up, you're not going to change anything, you're just going to hit OK, minus it down, then we'll look. It's right here. Go hit right on your mouse and go to properties at the bottom, and it's 6.20 kilobytes. I mean, as simple as that. Now we'll take it to our GranTurismo.com. Move this over a little bit. Take that file and drag it right on to where it says drop here. Start upload. Next, 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 next. Agree with it. Hit OK. And it's complete. Simple as can be. So, if you're into making a simple design, or a more complicated livery design, I'm here to give you some tips on how to make your SVG files, your decals, smaller in size, because a lot of us are having this problem. I wish they would go up to 30, 40, 50 kilobytes. That would solve a lot of our problems, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, here are some ways that I shrink down my SVG files. Okay, so now to getting to shrinking files down to file sizes to 15 kilobytes. Let's choose one here. This dragon one works good. It says it's 43 kilobytes. So, and that's the PNG size. Alright, we're going to be using Vector Magic again. And where'd that file go? and we'll drag it in here. We're not going to use this to shrink down the size. We're just going to get a clear background and make it a SVG file. And this Vector Magic program is not a free program, but they give, I think, like, I don't know, 14-day trial, 15-day trial, maybe 30-day trial, I don't know. But they give you a free trial to see if you like it. I suggest you get it. It's an awesome, it's some awesome software to use. But anyway, we're going to use basic again. Leave transparent background. High sharp. 2 colors. What the hell is that? Remove background. Let's try that again. Basic. We're going to remove background because there's all kinds of alien eyes. Alright, you can remove letters just by clicking on them, but we're not going to waste our time with that. So we're going to go to next. We're going to save it as an SVG to our desktop. Minus that down. Get rid of that. And it's right here. Alright, it says 61 kilobytes. So we know that's too big to upload. So we're going to drop that. We're going to use the new Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to use the eraser tool, and the eraser tool is the 5th one down, and we're going to get rid of this crap down here. And there's some lines in there we can just get rid of. Lines. We can shrink the eraser size by hitting the bracket key next to the P. One side of the bracket goes down, the other side of the bracket goes up, so we can take it down. So we clean that up a little bit. I'm going to show you a cool little plugin that Adobe Illustrator has for all of the illustrators. It's called VectorFirstAid, and I will leave a place to download it and down below a link for it. It is not a free program, but they give you a 14-day free trial, I think. So anyway, when you open it up, you click right there with those and check documents, and it tells you that you have 1 stray point, 2 barely open paths, 2 filled unstroked open paths, and 10 closed points. So you just hit fix all, and we can close that and see how big it is now. Remember, you got to go to save as, or you want to save it desktop, SVG. We're going to override that one. Don't change nothing in that menu, just save it. And we already got it down to 17.1 kilobytes just by using that plugin. So that's a cool little thing to have. So another thing is, I found a SVG File Compression website that is for free. And I'll show you that. It's called SVGOMG. You open it up and you can just drag that file right on in there. It says drop it. And you have everything on the side you want to remove, or you can choose not to remove. They're just little switches. I suggest that you don't show the original, because I have tried that and the file sizes are bigger for some reason. But anyway, so we download to where we want. We name it. And save it. Alright, so we can minus that down. Go into properties again, and we brought it down to 13.5 kilobytes just by doing that. And if you remember, the original file was 17.1. We got it down to 13.5 without doing anything at all, just using the VectorFirstAid software. Alright, so I'm going to show you some other little tricks that could help. So we're going to take this file that is originally 17.1 kilobytes, and we're going to go into the old the CS5 Illustrator and open it up. The good thing about CS5 is you can go to File, Save for Web Devices, change it to SVG, and it'll tell you how big the file is. It says 25.21 kilobytes. So that's too big, we know that. So one thing we can do is select everything, and it has all the points. Actually, let's try this. Go up to select, hit all, and see if we have any random points. And it doesn't look like it. So we'll go down the bottom, and you can size it. It says 100%. We go up to 400%. And go in here and delete little points we don't need. So third point, or third thing down on the left on the menu, go into your pen selection tool and hit delete anchor points. We want that one. So what we're going to do is on these nodes, we click on them, and you can see they're disappearing. That we can do and just make them our file size is smaller just by deleting anchor points. Also, we can change shapes with these anchor points. So see how we like took that away and it got wider? We can go back up to the selection tool, hit direct selection tool, the pink one, and grab these handlebars. Now that's not really what we want. There we go. On each side they have a set of them. And we can change it. We've deleted some of the points. And go back up to select all. Like we could delete this point. And do the same thing. Go back up and hit direct select tool. Some people think these handlebars are hard to use, but they're not. Alright, so we go back down to 100%. We've deleted some things. We can use the eraser again if we want. Like, we have points in here that we could get rid of. Just erase them all together that we don't want. Let's go back to the delete anchor points. You don't need to go up to 400%, but say 200%. Select all, so it shows all your anchor points. We can delete we don't want that. So if we've made a mistake, just go back up to edit on the top and undelete anchor and it'll fix it. So we'll go back in here, direct selection tool, bring it back up to, I don't know, 400 like we had it, so we can see those handlebars real good. And it gives it a more rounded look again. And you want to hit in the middle of these anchor points. It'll be like a little white box. You want to hit that, because if you hit the handlebars, it'll give you this sound. So if you don't want that, you want the very middle of both handlebars, and it'll delete the point. Now when you're deleting stuff, you want to make sure that your picture still obtains the look you want, because if you start deleting stuff, you know, like this point, going for this wing, it's going to look funny because it's only going to have these curved parts in the back. You're going to go, whoa, what happened to the rest of the wing? So you got to watch the points you're deleting. If it gives you a weird shape, you want to reshape it. Let's see, we'll go with select all because I'm sure there's too many points in here. So back up to 400, go across, go back to your direct selection tool, the pink one. Grab the handlebars on each side and it'll give you your shape back. I think we went up a little too much for that. Alright. Select all. We don't want that, so go back. Another thing, if you go back, you can select whole areas and move them, like the whole entire thing. Group selection, like we can click off everything and group select. We can move the selection closer together. Bring it back down to size. Like if you didn't like where this was, you could move it closer. But anyway, there's some good tips there. Let's see what file size we came up with so far. Remember to go save for web devices, and this is on CS5. Change SVG, and down here in the corner it'll tell you 21.91. That's still too big. So what else could we take out of here? Let's see. Select all. Make it about 200% bigger. Let's take some of these points out of here. Delete anchor points. Sometimes you need to go bigger so you can see. Again, we got that weird shape, so we can go to our direct selection tool. First, let's delete these points here. Then go back to our direct selection tool. Whoa. looks alright. Alright, let's minus some more points out of here. Go back to our selection tool. Go back to our minus. Alright, let's go back to 100%. We still got the look of a dragon here. We could make some of these lines thinner. So let's go up to 400%. Let's take some of these wings. Select all, delete, whoa, we don't want to delete that point. We can delete that point. Select all. Actually, probably could delete that point too. Altogether. Not even worry about it. Let's see here. Select all. Select all, go back, select all, It's tedious work sometimes getting files down to size, but it can be done. Let's go down to 100% again. Still looks like a dragon, and we've deleted all kinds of points. Alright, let's see how big it is now. SVG 20.65. On this point, again, Alright, so say we save it right here, desktop, Dragon 222. That's this one right here. We go look at the size, it's 20.6. We go back into the compression file, the SVGOMG. We drop it in there. Hello. We drop it in there. We drop it in there. We hit save again. Desktop location. And change the name. 777 to the desktop. And see what we come up with. 17.1. Alright, we're missing some files we need to mess with here, so we're going to take that. We're going to go into the new Adobe Illustrator, CC. We're going to select all of it, go into Objects, go into Blend Mode, Blend Options. We'll change that 4 to a 3. Say OK. We'll go back into Objects again. Simplify. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. If you don't have a really detailed picture, you can take the curve precision and drop it down, but it will change your picture like big time. Like preview, I'll show you. See, so it doesn't so much look like a dragon anymore. So we go back to edit, unsimplify, but that's a way you can do it too. We can run it through the VectorFirstAid again. Check that little box. It says 10 redundant points and 20 close points. So we'll fix all again. And see what file we come, what size. Save as SVG desktop. It's going to tell you the file already exists. You overwrite it. Don't change nothing on there. Go to the next one. Alright, so we're going to go check it. Property 13.5. Alright, there we go. We got that file down to size just by using that VectorFirstAid and changing the path on it. Let's upload some files. Gran Turismo. Go to where your name is, go to your profile. Below manual will be Decal Uploader. So we'll just bring that over and we'll take that dragon one we just did, drop it in, start upload. There it is. Yeah, once you get them the right size, they just go right in. But if you get the wrong size, it'll tell you file exceeds maximum of 15 kilobytes. It's really simple to do, guys. I will give a link down below to my PlayStation 4 username, so you guys can get links to my decals and my liveries. And if you have any questions, you can ask me on GT Sport, you can ask me on PS4, you can ask me on Facebook, you can ask me on Twitter, or you can comment down below on my video. I hope I've helped you guys out. One more thing we did have is I did find another free software from Microsoft. It's called Microsoft Expression Design 4, and you can design in here. It is a free copy. I will give you a link. You can save in SVG files. It's real basic compared to Illustrator. Really easy to use. You can see the tools on the side. It's not real complicated, but for basic design and a free program, you can't beat that. We also have Inkscape. A lot of people are starting to use that and understand it. I have not used either one, but I know that Inkscape works really well because I've heard some friends tell me about it. But like I said, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, and I'll help you any way I can. Thanks for watching my video. One more thing I wanted to add was how to share your decal designs, like if you made one for a friend or you just want to share it with everybody. You go over where it says Home, Library Editor, My Library, Mileage Exchange, Discovery, and Save, and go into your library. Go down to Decals, go to your personal decals. And when you get to the one you want to share, you hit triangle on your controller, hit share, title it, choose what area you want it to go into, and we'll go into logos there. Hit OK. Then you can just back out of here, go down to your escapes and photos, and you'll see there it is. It's shared with everybody. Oh, looks like we forgot to get that white out of the R. So you got to be careful when you're editing that you get all the stuff out you want. pretty simple.